Hi, Abby. How are you?
I'm good. I am watching your 2-year update. I'm just like, girl, once you said who's been here for within the last year, I was just like, yeah, let me get on.
Yes. How long has it been, Abby?
I have you about to go, but I just want to confirm.
Oh,
Bye. I'm outside. Bye.
hey,
Bye.
Nana!
So, how long have you been here, Abby?
So I've been in Houston since August of 2023.
Oh, so you
So
6 months.
5 months, almost 6 months.
Yeah. So, how has your experience been? And just based on your 6 months, how do you feel as if you're going to be here long term? Are you considering going back to where you came from or somewhere else? How do you feel?
I feel like I'm definitely not going back to Seattle.
Oh my God! Yes.
No,
Mhm.
but I love Seattle. Like I love Seattle. But I've been there forever. I think coming to Houston is like a warm hug. I felt like people are more just a bit more warm here. Not as individualistic. Like people have community here. I do love the diversity here. Like it feels great to be in a space where I could see a lot of people that look like us. The weather, I know people hate the heat because I came in the thick of the heat, like when it was like 110, 117, whatever in August. And I kind of felt like that was my like initiation.
Like if you can get through this, you can get through anything. You came in the hottest month.
Yeah, it was the hottest month. So in my head, I was like, okay, like let's see how it goes in the winter. But I like Houston a lot. Like I think it's good to meet people. I just think it's just been a lot of like culture shocks for me about like just people, the scene, how far away things are,
Woo!
and
I was right. I was where you at, so I know that.
yeah, just how far away things are, and just like in general, just like me just listening more to how people move versus like I had to unlearn like what I think my lifestyle was like moving here.
Wow.
So it just felt like, okay, like let me just see how like the motion of the ocean goes here and just kind of be open-minded. I think this moving here was like a eye-opening experience. Like so when you talk about the dating stuff, even though I was a non-dater, I don't know. Houston is a vibe. Like I could see myself being here and giving a 2-year
That's the
update. Like
word you make is the it's a vibe. Like it's a
yeah,
vibe. You go to a certain place, like I'm sorry, Nana's gone, so I could talk ill. Charlotte's not a vibe. Like it's just not it. You know what I mean? Like Houston is a vibe. Like you go out, like the people is more like you mentioned. I rewatched my 1 year update. Like I said earlier today, I mentioned that the people, the culture is deeper than just the food, the weather, like the people. Like it's different. Like you get that welcoming, like it's just a different feeling down here. And I think maybe because a lot of people are moving down here. When I moved here my first year, I feel like all my friends, everyone was they call us transplants, people who move from different cities. I feel like I barely know like native Houstonians. Like
I
I know, like
meet a
one
lot of
or two.
native
I know
Houstonians.
like I have like two friends that were like born in Houston.
Yeah.
Everyone is like from somewhere else, you know? So like is a reason why. Like people talk about it's part of like the reason I feel like someone like Nana is like, oh, she doesn't want to come to Houston. I feel like sometimes people don't want to do something because everyone is doing it and they feel like it's hype, right? But then you have to ask yourself the reverse. If everyone is doing something or going somewhere, there's something they're getting out of it, right? They're going there for a reason because there's a benefit. So you can't say, oh, everyone's moving to Houston. Let me go move to Wyoming because I want to be different. There's a reason why people are not rushing to Wyoming. You know what I mean? Because like there's like let's be real, like it's
Crazy.
not a vibe. You know what I mean? I never been there, but I know it's not a vibe. Sorry if anyone's from Wyoming in there, because you know you gotta always apologize. But like it's not a vibe. You know what I mean? So sometimes
Um,
it may be annoying and people may be always doing something and it feels like everyone's riding on the jumping on the train and everyone's just following each other, but there's a reason why.
I think what you said earlier about like you reject going out to places. I haven't got to that point where I'm rejecting things, but I did have a moment like my first month being here, like I was outside heavy.
Yeah.
And I got exhausted because it was so much to do. And then I was like, you know what? Like, I don't have a FOMO anymore. Like, there's no like missing out. Like, if there's like a party, like I think Jeezy was here like a week or two ago, and I don't really go to the club like that, but I do like Jeezy. And I felt like FOMO for the first time.
I remember that, yeah.
Because I was like, dang, I would love to go see Jeezy in the club just to kind of experience that Southern hood, you know, club atmosphere. Because Seattle didn't have true club life, you know?
Yeah.
I was like, I just want to experience that here because I only experience like a proper club life if I'm like in like a Miami or Atlanta or like a New York, like LA, that type of vibe. So yeah, I feel like Houston has a lot to offer, but it can be exhausting if you like do the most.
You can't play it. Yeah, that's what we kind of talked about, the idea of like you still want to go out, but it's like you still have to find that balance. Of course, personality is a factor, right? Lifestyle. But like when I see people say they're bored in Houston, like I don't get it. Because I'm just like, how? But I go back to is more than just, you know, having the things to do. Like you said, we're kind of similar in the sense that like I see a comment, I stop going out in groups and I never look back. You can go out by yourself. I can go out by myself. It's only until I got older, I realized a lot of people they're not comfortable going out by themselves. So if you don't have that personality, you can just up and go alone, then you're relying on a social group. You're relying on a friend. You're relying on someone you know. So even if you go to the most lit place and you don't have any friends, you're going to be in your house.
Yeah. Especially if you don't have friends, like getting to know new people or having someone to go out with. But also with these like lounges and like bars and restaurants or clubs or brunches or whatever, a lot of it is like section culture and like having a table. Like personally, I'm not going out somewhere paying $50 covers to be standing.
Right.
Like I'm not doing it. Like, I'm not driving 30 minutes, at least where I live, 30 minutes to go to Midtown or downtown or wherever, just to be somewhere and there's no section.
Right, just to be
there's nothing like secure, like I'm not accommodated for. Like that's just how I like to go out if I'm gonna put that energy of like doing the valet, doing the cover, doing all the extra stuff. Like I just think Houston has a lot of that and it's competitive, I guess, which is why they charge a lot for that. But I just rather be if you're outside, it's worth it.
Right.
If you have friends, especially guy friends that are just going to pay for that, then you're good to go. But if you're just like, all right, let's go with a couple of the girlies, you know, let's do our thing. You kind of have to like be strategic about if it's going to be worth the move.
I talked
about the section security.
One of the things I don't like about Houston is just the going out sometimes, even though there's so much to do, it could be a bit exhausting. It could be a lot. Like it could be a very like, are we going there? Like, what's is it? Are we going to be able to get in? Are we going to go there and be standing? Are they going to go charge us like $50 to park? Like, it's a lot involved, you know. So like, you definitely have to be strategic going out here. But like we know, Houston has so much to offer, so much to offer. And there's a reason why people are. I didn't even bring up the financial part. No state taxes.
That's yes.
This a lot of people don't even know that. When I talk about these on lives, people are like, huh, really? Yes. Like I talk about when I first moved here, like I had switched over like the next month to Texas and I started getting deductions from my paychecks, like FSA, insurance, all that stuff. And I was still making more than what I was making in New Jersey because of the state income taxes I was paying in New Jersey. So like there's a financial benefit to like not pay. I know they say they make it up. People claim they make up for it with property taxes, but like we'll worry about that when we get there. I'm benefiting now because I'm not paying property taxes, right? Like I'm better. Like I'll worry about that when I get there. Like I'm not worried about that right now.
Yeah, because I just think like one of the reasons why I chose Houston is that I really do like the city culture of it because it is like what you said, the fourth largest city, but also the suburbs, like the communities like people have, like Sugarland or Katy or Woodlands or, you know, somewhere south or east. I just feel like it has its own vibe. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So I like the juxtaposition of like, I can go see my fam in the suburbs and have a time, but also be in the city and be mixy.
Right. And not be too far. I know you got to drive like 2 hours, but like,
exactly.
Yeah. Like depending on where you are, certain suburbs and honestly not as far like from certain parts of Houston. So like, no, for sure. Like, that's an advantage because a lot of people living in different places, right? To get these type of like master plan houses, they got to drive like hours, right? They got to drive really far to get like this suburban feel. But like Houston is like, even though like there's a city part, but like they still consider those suburbs Houston. Like if someone's referring to Houston, they're still considering Katy in that Houston. They're still considering like, Richmond in the Houston. They're still considering Sugarland to be part of Houston. So you could still be in the Houston metro area and get that suburban feel if that's what you want, but not be too far from like the city center. So that's definitely something that Houston has to offer. But so you've been here about 6 months, you like it. So you say you don't you see yourself here. But is there anything that really surprised you moving to Houston? Like something that you weren't expecting or something that like really caught you off guard?
I you know what? Okay, I know people talk about the dating thing. That didn't really surprise me. What surprised me was how segregated it is here.
I talked about that, yeah.
Like coming from Seattle is very white. I'm very used to being the only Black girl in any room. It doesn't bother me. Like I don't even have. I'm aware of it, but it doesn't like make me feel away. Like, oh, I can't be around here. There's no Black people. Like here, it's so diverse, but it's like people are like to themselves.
Mm-hmm.
So like you'll see someone that's Hispanic group, someone that's a Pakistani group, Russian group, white American, Black American. They're all mixed. Everyone's acknowledging that we're all in the same space, but
mixing with each other.
They're just to themselves. It's almost like you're in the peripheral if you're not the same race as me. That's the vibe I get. I also noticed there's not a lot of interracial dating here that I notice.
Even from
I don't see like interracial couples here like I used to see in the Pacific Northwest. Another thing I noticed that surprised me is that ain't no walking.
Oh, there's not designed for
no walking.
There's no sidewalks. Even if you want to walk, you can't walk. People will drive to go 0.5 miles because the way it's set up, is it the urban planning of the city it's not they haven't set it up to even be walkable even if you want to. Like it's very like especially maybe towards like downtown, there's sidewalks. When you start going a little further out, even within Houston, like where I used to, there's no there's barely sidewalks. Like there'll be a sidewalk, then it stops. Then it's just the street. So someone's walking, they're gonna have to walk on the street and get back on the sidewalk further down. Like it's not designed for walking. I don't know if it's the weather. People are just used to driving. Being in the South, I feel like people they don't walk outside as much. It's not like a thing here. Like coming from up north, you wake up 6 o'clock, the sun is rising, everyone's taking a walk. Everyone's walking their dog. Everyone's moving around. But like I feel like being down here, like I don't know if they just go to the dog parks. So like I don't really see people outside really walking. And I think weather may be a big factor, right? Because like the extreme heats during the summers and stuff like that. But even when it's cool and it's not that hot outside, I feel like people don't really walk like that.
I don't feel safe walking. I was taking an Uber, and the Uber driver was like, you shouldn't be walking. It's not safe out here. I was like, really? Like, it just kind of hit me differently. Like, if people perceive you differently when you're just walking, especially if you're a woman. I don't know. They might think you're selling something.
They may think you like the girls on business. They may think you're selling something.
They might think you're selling something, or it could be like a situation where, like you said, it's just not set up for you to walk. So for me, coming from a place where it's very scenic, walking and the absorbing nature is a thing, I just kind of felt like, oh, okay, noted. Another thing I noticed here that surprised me is the zoning, of course. Like no zoning and having things randomly be next to each other had me in a loop. A lot of drive-throughs.
For everything.
Like for everything. Like I just wasn't used to that. But other than that, I mean, I visited Houston before I moved here, so it wasn't like a huge culture shock. Right. But I think the top two was like those two, like that got me. And obviously in the comments earlier when I was talking about like natural hair and like wearing my fro out or my natural hair out, like I just feel like I don't know. I feel like the reception's a little different.
No, they be having the lace fronts on deck. Like they don't play. Like when even me moving here, I said it last year. I was like, I want to wear my hair out more, but I used to wear my hair out way more in New Jersey compared to here. Like I'm not even gonna lie, way more. So I definitely think, like I said, I think the weather is a big part of it because of the humidity. Like it could be challenging for some people. But yeah, thanks so much for joining, Evie. You made it fun. Thank you so much.
Congrats on 2 years.
Thank you. We'll talk later. Bye-bye. Bye. All right, y'all. That was Evie. She made it fun. Portia, I've been living in Houston for almost a year. My only regret is not moving here sooner. Yes, yes. I just felt an overwhelming dark energy with some parts being very lonely. Houston, interesting. I've been leaning more into moving overseas. America's kind of boring overrated, but I think I'm gonna try Dallas for this one time. I thought considered that too, but the issue is jobs and currencies and all that stuff. But maybe if I was a little younger, I would try that. But I don't know, moving to a whole other country is also hard. No family, it's not easy. I know her from TikTok. Yes, Abby Song Culture said she knows you from TikTok. What are your thoughts about North Houston, like the Jersey area, even further in the Woodlands? I've only been to North Houston, honestly, once. I went to some church there. I did not like it. Just driving through it, it just gave me a very dreary, eerie feel. Like I did not like it. But I haven't been to the Woodlands. I've driven through past the Woodlands, like on the highway. I haven't been through the Woodlands. To be honest, my locator was trying to find me apartments last year. She mentioned the Woodlands, and afterwards she was like, I wouldn't even be comfortable with you living there. It just seems like, because she's like Asian, like it's not really diverse, things like that. So, but I've never been to the Woodlands, so I can't speak on that. Thank you. Yeah, I didn't care for Charlotte either. Yeah, tell them. Then I tell them. Can't stand section culture. Love mingling. Yeah. I don't even see people dance with opposite gender to dance for like they used to be years ago. Is everyone's just sitting down looking cute in their sections. Yep. All right, y'all. So it's been a night. 2-year Houston, Texas update. I am staying. I'm not going anywhere. But look out for upcoming content. We're going to be going live every Tuesday this month. Next Tuesday, our live is going to be very interesting. Give you guys a sneak peek of the topic. It's going to be, is your location keeping you single? Okay, we always touch on this. Mia joins the lives, and she always we can't have a conversation without talking about man with Mia in the chat. So this is going to be that perspective, because someone had asked it, I can't recall who it was. Would you move somewhere? Are you going to move if you don't find your husband? And it's something that people consider. They think about it. So we're going to talk about your location and whether that could be a factor contributing to why you are still single. And Valentine's Day is next Wednesday, so it's perfect time the day before. But we're going to have that live next Tuesday. Make sure you guys are on. And we're considering changing the time, right? So we go live at the 30 mark, which is like a weird time. We want to just do a solid time. So it's either going to be 6 Central, which is and 7 Eastern, or 7 Central, which is 8 p.m. Eastern time. So y'all let me know. Let's just keep it to Eastern time. If I start doing Central, it's going to be confusing. Would y'all rather go earlier or later? All right. If you rather go earlier, type earlier in the chat. You rather go later, type later. We just did like that half mark because there's always some contention between the two times, but we just want to do like a solid time, whether it's 7 or 8 Eastern time. Let us know which time works better for you all. We're going to decide on that. We'll have that updated. Yeah, I'm thinking later. Terry said later. Yeah, I'm thinking later, just 8 p.m. Eastern time. Everyone's settled back from work, ate dinner, relax. You can just enjoy the live. So we're going to have a time update. Look out for that. And like I also mentioned, we're going to have something coming in for you guys. We're going to try and have it out by Valentine's Day, where we have something we're working on, and we really want to help meet a lot of the needs. We get a lot of questions, a lot of DMs, a lot of messages, and we think it's about time to roll out something, that can help a bit more and help people with a decision when relocating. But thank you guys so much for tuning in. Make sure you like this video, subscribe to our channel. We have a Houston, Texas, and a Charlotte, North Carolina playlist. So make sure you engage with that content, because we have a lot of content up on our channel regarding these 2 cities. And we'll see you next week. Bye, y'all.